there'll be an extra fee for that.
It's been a few days. Ban on flying objects should be over by now. Let's head over to the Palais Mermonia to see how Kukuku's doing. Is that good news or bad news, though?
Sorry, I did everything within my power. But so far, I've only managed to teach him how to say good morning.
Wait, so that's all you've been up to this whole time? Get out of here! Huh? Okay, so good mornings aside, please tell Paimon there's been some other progress, too.
Of course. That's why I'm here. Kukuku's not the only one that Mr. Risley's been getting to talk.
It was nothing. These guys weren't exactly tough nuts to crack.
So, what's the deal?
After racking their brains, they remembered speaking to an inconspicuous middle-aged man just as they were preparing to pack up and leave Natland. He was dressed in the manner of the Children of Echoes and carrying a box. Plus, the description matches the one the gun was found in. Perhaps seeing that they were dressed as merchants, this man stopped for a chat, inquiring where their goods were headed, and even asking if they could share a boat. The smugglers were very cautious, though. They didn't tell him any specifics. But all this happened before I crossed paths with them. I happened to notice them as they were preparing to set sail.
Boss, do we know if those Fontanians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie. It's all supply and demand, kid. Supply and demand. Natland's foreign trade is just starting to lift off. There'll be a market for it, you'll see.
That's right. So stop giving the boss trouble, rookie. Just do your job and keep an eye on the goods.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine to do business? Scarred face. calloused hands. On closer inspection, the fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical merchant. Could he have previously been a warrior? Or even an adventurer? Something feels off. I'd better sneak up and get a closer look.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan? I'll need to find a way to get to the bottom of this. Let's go hear what these criminals...
Hey, why the long face? You're abroad on business, and you get to do some sightseeing while you're at it. Sounds like a pretty...
What was that sound?
Sure enough, there are relics inside the box.
Boss, do we know if those Fontanians will even like this stuff? What if we can't shift it?
And that's why we call you a rookie. It's all supply and demand, kid. Supply and demand. Natlan's foreign trade is just starting to lift off. There'll be a market for it, you'll see.
That's right. So stop giving the boss trouble, rookie. Just do your job and keep an eye on the goods.
Are they merchants? Have they come to Fontaine to do business? Scarred face. Calloused hands. On closer inspection, the fabric looks worn at the knees and elbows, and his fingernails are dirty. Not exactly your typical merchant. Could he have previously been a warrior? Or even an adventurer? Something feels off. I'd better sneak up and get a closer look.
Nice thinking, boss. This tourist tub's been fast going and smooth sailing. Plus, no one's been asking us what we're up to.
That goes without saying. Big cargo ship would have been too slow, whereas the smaller ones would have been faster but way too bumpy. If we ended up damaging the goods by accident, all these months spent grafting away would have gone up in smoke.
Seriously? But there's hardly anything here. Would it really have taken them months to prepare? And why would they need to transport it with such care? Could they be secretly smuggling precious items out of Natlan? I'll need to find a way to get to the bottom of this. Let's go hear what these criminals have to say for themselves. Sure enough, there are relics inside the box. It's illegal to smuggle such items outside Natlan.
Hey, why the long face? You're abroad on business, and you get to do some sightseeing while you're at it. Sounds like a pretty sweet deal to me. You better cheer up if you know what's good for you.
I guess you're right. I was just worried I might have messed up with the packing, or that something's gonna go wrong along the way.
Oh, pull yourself together. Tons of foreign tourists come traveling to Fontaine. I bet their luggage is full of all kinds of weird stuff. If someone insists on checking it all, just show them the purchase order we had drawn up. Those Fontainians can't get enough of their legalese, so I've heard. They can look all they want.
Aha. So their aim is to smuggle in contraband after all. Looks like I've gathered enough intel about the smugglers and their contraband. Time to inform port security. So anyway, that was when I went and told the Fontainian guards about my suspicions. After an investigation and a chase, they finally apprehended them and sent them on their way.
Well, guess they're headed exactly where they should be.
Thanks.
Based on your recollections just now,
I was completely focused on those smugglers at the time, so I wasn't really paying attention to other passersby.
Yeah, Kanish, you did great!
in other words, the person who brought the gun here, the one who lost it, has no connection to the smugglers whatsoever. They were working entirely on their own.
Oh dear, oh dear!
Sounds like Mr. Kakuku wants to chime in?
He said this elusive individual's actions are positively mystifying.
It's a good observation, I quite agree. However, we still know next to nothing about the person. Perhaps we should start by focusing on the lost item itself.
It certainly seems like it was the bait in some kind of trap. The only question is, why wasn't the bait made more conspicuous?
Has something sprung to mind?
I just remembered a film I watched this one time.
Huh? Oh wow, no way, bro!
Hold on, let me explain. Just now, the traveler speculated that this box might have been placed there on purpose, as if the intention was for someone to come pick it up. That got me thinking about those films about kidnapping cases. When they demand their ransom, the kidnappers tell the victim's family to leave money or valuables at a designated spot for someone to come pick up.
That doesn't merely happen in films. There have been similar cases in real life. In fact, if anything, it's probably the real-life events that inspire...
Sounds plausible.
Ooh. Wait. If the gun really was some kind of ransom, then... Since we took the box, the kidnappers never got their pay. Does that mean they executed the hostage?
I agree. Selling off stolen goods is extra work that most kidnappers would... Could we be dealing with a kidnapper who's dead set on getting their hands on an ancient dragon handgun? And speaking of selling stolen goods...
So, bottom line, this was an individual smuggler at work.
Exactly. And it was the location itself that caused it. The last thing they would have expected was for a quiet beach. Not only is the area now packed with tourists, but the Spina di Rasula have a presence there.
That sounds like a plausible theory.
Looks like your people better start rolling up their sleeves.
How so?
Easy. Just follow the usual procedure by putting up a... The more routine we make it seem, the more likely the suspect will come forward to claim it. And timing-wise, it's about time we updated the bulletin board anyway. All we need now is a lucky gestionnaire to write up the notice for us post-haste.
Ah, so that's what you meant by rolling up their sleeves. In that case, I may as well write it myself. Delegating this to someone else would require an additional explanation.
Huh. Or are you just not used to asking others to work overtime?
Is that really a major concern here?
Well, looks like I won't be needed around here. At least until the notice has been posted.
You could always wait here if you like. The Palais Mermonia serves a particularly fine cup of tea if that swings it for you.
Thanks, but no thanks. I left a very noisy creature with a friend before heading out, so I should probably get back to feed it.
Ah, I wasn't aware that you had a pet, Mr. Kanich. Speaking of pets...
Get out of here! Out of here!
Yep, that's the plan. Out of...
I believe that what Wriothesley is trying to say is, you are free to leave, Mr. Kukuku. Furthermore, it has been determined that Mr. Kukuku should not, in fact, be classified as a flying object. As
You're the best, bro! Oh, that really is good news! Travelers, should we bring Kukuku back to Aoife and Auroron?
I shall leave him in your capable hands. Indeed.
You know, all this has made me realize that I'd quite like to have a pet.
If that proves inconvenient within the fortress of Meripede, perhaps you should consider finding a place in the court of Fontaine.
That actually sounds like a good idea. In the past, I always dismissed the idea of buying a property in the city. The prophecy about the floods meant it never seemed like a worthwhile investment.
This might be a good time for you to re-examine the documents I gave you regarding your title as Duke.
Huh?
Citizens with honorary titles are eligible for certain benefits when purchasing property in the court of Fontaine.
Really?
How about this? You read through your documents from start to finish, while I write up the lost and found notice.